Welcome back to day 11 of the countdown box. I have a feeling I know what's inside here just by feeling. Let's see if I'm right. I believe it's a stencil. Oh my gosh, look at how cute that is. All right, well, I'm gonna go grab some supplies and I will come back and we will make a fun card. Okay, I have a piece of perfect blend paper cut to 4x4 and I have it sandwiched with a little pixie tape. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of anti-static powder tool. I don't know if I'm going to heat emboss, but I want to be prepared in case I change my mind. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add another piece of tape, kind of just to keep it as a sandwich down below. And then of course I will use my magnets to kind of keep it in place. And I'm going to grab the Prom Queen, I think, ink. And we're going to just do a little ink blending. Tap that off a little bit. I don't care if I get a perfect blend. I'm just going to get some light spots and some dark spots. That will give it some interest. And we will... I'm thinking about just spraying it instead of putting some spray on it, like spritzing it with one of my chroma mists. Of course, you know, my favorite. Now I'm getting a little heavy-handed right there, so I'm gonna kind of try to dab that in a little bit more. There we go. Because I did not dab it off. And with the Stellar inks, they're juicier, so when you go in and dab with your brush, you get a lot on, and so you can accidentally get those harsh lines if you're not careful. And maybe I'll go a little darker on this side. And then we'll go a little bit light in there. And maybe I'll do a little dark over here too. Just to give it a little bit of, you know, there's a couple darker spots. Let's see if we can get in a little in the middle too. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to very carefully, I'm going to leave everything on my mat here. I'm going to use my ornament gold. I am going to move my paper pad off to the side here. Shake that up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just spritz it down over the top a few times. You know, you can use a splat box. Go ahead and wipe up my glass mat. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and just tap it on top just to pull up any extra really wet spots. And then we will peel and reveal. Let's see, you can see kind of the shimmeriness, and that just wipes off with some alcohol ink. I will do that later. I will link anything in the description box below that is available outside of the box. Along with the box, I believe there were a few left when I recorded this video. I will let you know which ones are affiliate links, which just means if you place an order using my affiliate link, I get a small commission off of that, which just helps me bring content to you. And it's greatly appreciated. Oops, hit my light there. Just going to wipe that off with, I like isopropyl alcohol for my stencils because it gets that color off, but I do like squeaky cleanest too, but I do like the isopropyl alcohol a little bit more when I'm using my stencils. And then if you look, the spray pretty much straight on. There's a little spot right there, but I love how that turned out. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to trim it down just a hair, because it's over a little bit on this edge and I want this edge to be the same. So we're going to trim it down just a little bit so that they're both kind of touching. And then, which puts that at just under 4. But I think I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom, about 1/8 of an inch off the bottom and 1/8 of an inch off the top, which is going to give me 3 3/4 of an inch by 4, just under 4. All right, we need some pattern paper. We need some paper. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of bubblegum cardstock. That'll be a fun contrast. You could probably use lipstick if you wanted the same color. Let's see if this is, yep. I'll cut this down to 4 1/4. We'll put that on right in the center. And then I want a little bit of color, so we're going to go ahead and grab a piece of the Checkered Hearts paper pad. I have a couple pieces left over from the other day. Let's see what I got piece-wise. Okay, let's see. I'm leaning towards... Just kind of looking through all the colors here to see which one I like. I'm thinking I might do this checkered one. Just add a little color. Just a little something, just a little band, but I'm thinking I'm going to leave a little bit of color there. So I'm going to grab a ruler here. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is just strip down the center. And then I'm going to show you, because this is the same, like, you know, you could totally just mat this and do it like this. Stamp your sentiment and have, you know, great background. Like if, let's say, let's grab something like this, you know, where you can see, you can't really see the pattern. It's just another, but I think I'm going to take this checkered piece. I'm trying to find a piece to see if there's a little bit more of this right pinky color in here. Let's see. Maybe we'll go back to, I think I'm going to go back to this pattern. This is the Gentle Love, because this has a little bit of a lighter, different pink. Let's see here. I'm thinking, let's just go. This is where it's fun to kind of look through and see. Thinking maybe might just, let's see what this looks like. This is a little leftover piece. I do like to use some leftover pieces. Maybe we'll do that piece. You can even flip it over. You could do the blue, which is kind of that lighter color. I might think we might do that light blue. So let's do that. That's a piece of the Gentle Love. So we'll cut that down to A2 size. We need to have that down to 5 1/2. And that can go right down the middle. And I mean, you could go off to the side a little bit, but I'm going to go straight down the middle with it. And then I'm going to do this piece right here. And then I think we're going to kind of center that. And then I think what I'm going to do is find black, and we're going to stamp a sentiment right through the middle of this. So I'm going to grab my stamp positioner. And I'm going to use the Sentimental Love stamp set. And I'm going to do the You're Always in My Heart stamp. So right here, right in the center. Oh, I got a puppy hair up there. Well, let's take that off. Right in the center. Let's see, that looks close enough. And then we're just going to use that Raven Detail ink and stamp that several times and make it nice and dark right in the center there. I could heat emboss it too to make it extra shiny. We might still do that. Let's see here. All right. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do is clean my stamp off really well. I did add that anti-static powder tool before we heat emboss, or before we stencil, but I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm going to go right over the top gently, even though my ink is a little probably wet. Grab my clear embossing ink. And I'm going to stamp it down a couple times just because I'm not sure. My ink pad is a little older and it might need to be re-inked. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my Raven embossing powder. I don't use my Raven as much. I like to use the Icicle, but we're going to do the Raven tonight because I want that really deep, dark color. Go ahead and put that down. I'm just going to let that sit for a second. Tap it off. Ooh, yeah. Just kind of looking to see if I got any little extra spots. Doesn't look like it. So let's heat set that. Heat tool set up. And then I think to throw a little bit of more of that black in there, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of my ink on there. This is my Raven Detail ink. Just a hint of water. Move stuff out of the way here. I'll do a little bit of black splatter. Just a little. Wipe that up before we accidentally get that on our card. Wipe off our, this is kind of my painting splattery brush, so it just sits in my thing all the time. I just wipe it clean. And then we'll go ahead and stick it on our card. So you could put this on black if you wanted to tie in some more of the black. I am going to keep going with the color. I'm going to go with the light blue because I like the softness of the blue with the softness of the bubble gum. Is this bubble gum? Yes, the bubble gum. Go ahead and line that up right down the middle. It's not quite in the center. It's okay. It's straight. That's the important part. And then we're going to glue this down. I'm going to just use some liquid glue. Oops. Get the corners. I'll get this centered. Kind of right in the center. Kind of. Eyeball that. Let's get our magnets down on top of that. We'll put our Misty down on top of that for a minute, let it sit. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and grab, I have some hematite crystals, which are a little more black and silvery. Get that black, and we'll tie a little bit of extra black in there. Okay. Grab our hot hard glue here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks good to me. Now we'll get our little crystals out here. So they got that shimmer on the top, but they also got that black in them. You can see the bottom of the crystals are black, so they'll catch that and in the light. And there we go. Our day 10 of the Valentine countdown box. Come back tomorrow. I got a little corner here. We'll just kind of, there we go. I just need to put it on a card base. Come back tomorrow for day 11. We'll see you then.